Christina Poncher here, post-fight with Chris Algieri. We just wrapped up the international call for Teofimo Lopez taking on Pedro Campa. What an impressive performance tonight in the return of Teofimo Lopez, his debut at 140 pounds. We had some questions coming into the fight, but I'm pretty sure you would agree that he answered a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, I mean, initially I was a little bit worried about the size. Pedro Campa looked very big for the weight class, and we knew that coming in. And Teofimo came in light. He was 138.8 pounds at the weigh-in. He didn't look like he put on that much weight walking to the ring today. And even initially, early on, with the big shots that he was landing, where we normally see him knocking out lightweights, Campa was walking through them. But as Teofimo got his rhythm, found his timing, got his flow, I mean, he was completely unstoppable, was putting punches together, and really put on an amazing finish.
Yeah, to that point, Campa was taking those headshots really well. I mean, and we were wondering how the power that he had at 135 would stand at 140 pounds. And like you said, broke him down round after round, started going to the body a little bit more. But something else that stood out a lot to me was also how on point he was defensively tonight. I think Campa only landed at an 18% clip throughout the entire fight compared to 41% and 51% of power shots for Teofimo Lopez.
When Teofimo's at his best, when he has his rhythm, when he has his timing, and he has that shoulder roll counter defense, I mean, it's a thing of beauty. He did some stuff in there tonight that was absolutely gorgeous. And he had the right guy in front of him. He had a guy who was going to come, he was going to throw, he was tough, he was going to take shots for as long as he could. But once he found that rhythm, once he heard him, it was a wrap.
Yeah, I think we said on the broadcast, a lot of people didn't think we would see a round 7. I think round 6 was the over-under, and then sure enough, he puts the pedal to the metal and gets the stoppage. A knockdown in round 7 in the first minute, and then an accumulation of punches causes the TKO stoppage towards the end of round 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think the upside for Teofimo at 140 is huge. There's a ton of talented young guys out there. He wants them all.
Sure.
You know, guys like Taylor, who actually relinquished some of the belts, but that's a fight that he's been calling for a while. We have an in-house fighter like Barbosa, who's an undefeated guy coming up. Sitting ringside and has been calling out Teofimo for multiple fights now. You've got the winner of Zepeda and Prograis, which is a great matchup either way. You know, a lot of great fights out there for Teofimo at this point.
As we called a few fights on the undercard, we had some great action in some of those early undercard fights. Anybody stand out to you? Maybe a guy in our co-main event?
I mean, Xander Zayas is my favorite prospect, young prospect out there today. I mean, put on such a top-to-bottom performance, from hand speed to defense to offense to aggression to killer instinct. He showed it all tonight. Got a little excited early on, got hit with a couple shots, but took them really well, transitioned well, got the man out of there in spectacular fashion. Absolutely tremendous performance.
One of the greatest prospects I think we have right now in boxing, not just the top-ranked stable, but all around Xander Zayas, and very impressive performance this evening. Before we let you go, we have a preview. Looking ahead, next week we have Emanuel Navarrete, and he is taking on Eduardo Baez. Baez, who we saw fight Vivas. We saw Vivas on this undercard, a very high caliber, entertaining fight between two guys who throw a lot of punches. Just your thoughts on our next main event coming to you next week in San Diego.
Like you said, we watched Eduardo Baez and Jose Vivas fight, and I mean, it was a barn burner. Just tons of punches throughout, just fighting toe-to-toe. That's how Baez fights. That's how he's going to fight with Navarrete next week. Good luck, because that is the wrong guy to stand in front of and go toe-to-toe with. The power for Navarrete is something special. He's big for the weight class. That's a big ask for Baez.
It is, and I look for Navarrete to once again have a dominating performance against a fighter that I feel like is tailor-made for his style, and I would love to see Navarrete next in with another champion. I want to see him unify the belts at 126. I don't know how long he's going to stay there, but there's other big names in the division. I really hope that Top Rank can get a big fight for him next against another title holder to unify, because I think he's up to 130 in any day now.
Absolutely, I agree. He's like the incredible growing man. I mean, every time we look at him, he's struggling to make weight. He moves up and still struggles. So he's got a lot of potential to go up in those weights. He's had some big wins. He's multiple division world champion. Give him that shot.
Chris, appreciate you. Always a pleasure calling fights with you here ringside.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you so much. For Chris Algieri, I'm Christina Poncher. Until next time.